Hi, and welcome to the Holly C Podcast, a show about expressing your brilliance with ease and flow. I'll show you how to take the woo-woo out of the clouds and apply it to real life for effortless action. This show is for world changers and future world changers, so if you know there's more to life and you're wondering what's next, this is your show. Hi, I'm Holly, your host. I'm an author, speaker, teacher of vitality and spirituality, a dragon spirit guide, and also an entrepreneur and a full-time mom. So I know a thing or two about productivity and leveraging my time. Today's episode will be about how to be more productive. And the reason why I'm doing an episode on productivity is because people always say to me, my goodness, Holly, you get so much done all the time. How do you do it? The thing is, though, is that I don't feel like I'm working hard. It feels pretty effortless, but admittedly, sometimes it doesn't. But most of the time, it feels like I'm not really doing anything, yet somehow I'm getting stuff done. Now, the reason why I want to share about productivity with you is because when you're in the flow, that is when it does feel effortless and when it feels like it's not a lot of work or that you're working hard. So you can work hard without struggle. And what I've observed is oftentimes when you come to the realization that you want to be sharing your voice and stepping into the limelight and expressing your brilliance and sharing that with the world, people kind of do two things. Well, actually, they do three things. One, they actually go out and do it, but there's like a struggle. So this is the two other things. Either they resist and they're kind of paralyzed and don't do anything, or make the decision and then they go overboard in activity. It's almost like they want to make up for all those years, maybe even decades, of not following their soul's calling by going overboard and doing way too much to try to make up for the lost time. So if you're feeling a sense of urgency, maybe a bit of burnout, where you're working too hard, you're just firing from all cylinders to get stuff done, take a moment right now and breathe. Yeah, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you're recognizing this need, like a rush to get things done so that you can express your brilliance, recognize that this sense of urgency is actually counter to expressing your brilliance. Being in the rush is taking you away from expressing your brilliance. And I want to mention too, if you want to understand the difference between a sense of rush, this is where you're always focused in the future, thinking about what you need to do now in order to get to some place, some point B in the future, I would recommend listening to episode 11 on how to be present in the moment. That will show you the difference between rushing and being present. You see, expressing your brilliance, it's not about something that you do in the future, that you have to get your website up or be working with groups of people or writing your book and getting it out in the world. It can be those things, but you can express your brilliance right now by being. So today we are going to enter the dragon spirit space to help you let go of that need to rush. And when you do that, you will find that you're actually much more productive and it's not a struggle anymore. You may work hard, but it's not going to feel the same as this burden of hard work where you burn yourself out. And you'll actually give yourself permission to take a break. And I know your mind will freak out about that, but taking a break is actually one of the most productive things you can do. So To enter the dragon spirit space, you're going to place your hand on your heart and you're going to take 3 breaths. You're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I just want to explain dragon spirit a little bit here in case you're new to my podcast or my blog or my teachings. So, dragon spirit is not an entity or a spirit outside of yourself. Dragon spirit is a part of you. Everybody has a dragon spirit within them. And another word for dragon spirit could be intuition. You could describe it as your higher guidance or a gut feeling or your connection with the universe, your connection with God, where you're receiving higher wisdom that guides you to your higher purpose in life. And I was just guided to call this dragon spirit because it evokes that sense of adventure and mystery that too often we lose as adults, but that we possess in spades as children. So let's enter the dragon spirit space right now. So make sure you're comfortable. You might want to make sure your spine is aligned. Place your hand on your heart right now. And one thing I want to mention about the breathing, when you breathe out through your mouth, if you feel like it, if you feel like letting out a sigh or a sound or a yawn, go for it. All right, let's begin. Breathe in through your nose, releasing tension from your neck and shoulders, breathing out through your mouth. Ah. Again, in through your nose. And as you breathe out, release tension from your jaw. Ah. And on the third breath, release tension through your throat and neck, breathing in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Ah, releasing tension from your neck and throat. Awareness to your hand and your heart. Do you feel any tightness in the muscles, in the chest? Do you feel perhaps a tightness, not in your physical heart, but your energetic heart? Is there like a shield or a block around your heart, a wall around your heart? Breathe in to your heart and just breathe out normally. Bring your awareness to your hand on your heart and just breathe into your palm. So imagining the air going into your chest, into your heart, so that you can feel that energy under your palm, under the palm of your hand. Just relaxed, easy breaths. You may feel a little bit of heat from your palm, and if you do, allow that heat to spread into your heart. And just allow the heart to relax. Not the physical heart, the energy around the heart. That wall, that shield, that protective barrier around your heart. Just allow it to relax. It doesn't mean you're dismantling it. Your heart's still protected. But that you're allowing some of this rigidity to just relax for a moment. Breathe in through your nose, expanding your chest and your heart, and breathing out. And bring your awareness to your throat, breathing in, relaxing your throat, and breathing out. Releasing tension from your shoulders and your neck. Part of the reason why you feel this rush to get things done is that you have this belief that your soul's calling is a burden. What? Shouldn't your soul's calling be a joy? Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. And you may relax your hand. You don't need to leave it on your heart. You can place it in your lap. So, where does this come from? This idea that your soul's calling is a burden. And I know your mind is thinking, no, I don't think that way, or no, I should feel joyful and bliss if I'm pursuing my passions. But there's also a part of you that feels this great sense of responsibility. That you must get your book out into the world, that you must share your voice, that you must stand up and represent all those downtrodden people, those downtrodden creatures or animals, or those that don't have a voice for themselves. You must be that voice. Breathe in through your nose and relax as you breathe out. What if you are not that voice? Then you have the doubt, how can this be your soul's calling if you're not making a difference in the world? But you see, you've made an extra connection where making a difference in the world means that you have to support, heal, rescue the rest of the world. Funny that. What if making a difference is you being you, expressing your brilliance, and those that are tuned into it and open to receiving that guidance and are part of this universe's great grand design to manifest change? What if all of that was being orchestrated without your conscious knowledge of it, without the need for your ego to feel like you're the one saving the world? Are you okay being one beam of light in a giant tapestry of light that the universe is weaving? Breathe in with your nose and breathe out with your mouth. Again, in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. You see, your soul is connected with all of these other beams of light, and it knows it does not need to create the whole tapestry by itself. Imagine a single thread weaving an entire blanket. That's a lot of work. But if there were many, many threads all weaving together, it's a lot easier to create a lovely blanket. Now, your ego, the mind, your thoughts, have to acclimatize to the idea that you are not the savior of the world. What? Now that's probably triggering a lot of resistance, because there's an immediate aspect of yourself saying, I never said that. I don't claim to be the savior. And that again is your ego, because there's like two sides to the same coin. One, the sense that somehow you are saving all these others, having to be responsible for all of them, that without you, they would be lost. And then on the flip side of that coin is, I am no good. I am a worm. I am not good enough. I am a failure. I cannot do this. I am not worthy. I lack. And understand that this coin, imagine it as, let's say it's a quarter. Two sides to a coin that you do not need. You may not reach the extremes of feeling like you are the savior of the world, or the extreme of being the lowliest of the low. And chances are you oscillate between these two. You don't go to the extremes, but even if you're right in the center, you're still influenced by both sides. What if you were to take that quarter, placing it on your thumb like you're going to flip a coin? Only you flip the coin into the air, it goes higher and higher, and then it goes over a cliff, down into the ocean. And let's say that coin's pretty much gone. What if you didn't have that responsibility, where expressing your brilliance wasn't this huge responsibility or obligation? Wouldn't you feel lighter? Wouldn't it be easier to express your brilliance? And what if you weren't holding yourself down with these chains of unworthiness? Wouldn't you also feel lighter? Wouldn't you just bob on to the surface of the water? Like a cork? And I'm using a metaphor that Abraham Hicks often uses because it's a really good metaphor. That you're holding yourself down, you let go of these feelings of unworthiness, and boom, you just shoot up to the surface like a cork. Because that's your natural state of being. So imagine how much more productive you would be if you cast off that coin, where you released those feelings of unworthiness and also released that responsibility. You see, it's like you use one to counter the other, because that humbleness, as your mind might call it, versus calling it feeling like a lowly worm, is a counterbalance to egomania, that sense that you're responsible for shouldering all of the burdens of the world, or at least all of the burdens within your world. Never saw it that way before, did you? And that's kind of why you hold on to both, is because you hold on to both. Do you understand? When you let go of all of that sense of responsibility, then you no longer need to have this aspect of your ego that beats yourself up for feeling like you're the one holding everything together. And when you let go of beating yourself up or feeling unworthy, then you don't need that counterbalance of justifying your worth by being responsible for all these burdens in life. So you may ask, well, how do you cast off this coin? And we would say, the universe would say to you, you've already begun to cast it off. Yeah, it was that easy. It's only the mind, the ego, that thinks it has to be struggle, that it has to be hard work, that you've got to be casting off coins for all of eternity until the ocean is full of them and you're still not done. You have cast off enough for right now. You see, that idea that you have so much more work to do, that is a focus in the future. What if you have cast off enough for the present? Bring your awareness to your sense of self, your beingness, who you are. That might be your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, all of it. And ask yourself right now, are you worthy? Are you responsible? Do you need to be the one holding a container for all in order to express your brilliance? Do you need to be so self-actualized that there is not a single doubt about your ability in order to express your brilliance? Do you have to be perfect? Do you have to be so confident that you're larger than life, that you never have any humility? No. Will you ever be able to cast off every moment of self-doubt? No. That's stuff in the future. Let's focus right now on the present. Even if you are feeling you're not sure, you are enough right now to express your brilliance. Just being you is expressing your brilliance. And sure, your mind might say, well, how on earth does this translate to productivity? Well, we'll get to that in the future. You see, when you release the burdens and release the self-deprecation, and you will not release all of it, but when you're aware of the pendulum, the swinging between the two, you'll see and recognize it as a pattern. It's like programming in software where it's in a loop and it repeats and repeats and repeats. And it uses up a whole bunch of computing power. But when you look at the code, which is what we did right now in the Dragon Spirit space, then it's like that movie in the Matrix where the code, you see that green code on the screen, and it starts to dissolve. And you'll find yourself more and more able to step outside of this pattern, to not let it influence your action as much. And that is how you will be more productive. It is not about managing your time, making a big schedule, slotting things in, exercising willpower, clearing your desk. No. It is about emptying your mind, but not so that it is totally empty and has nothing inside it. You need your mind in order to look at what tasks you want to do. It is about emptying your mind of limiting programming, those endless loops that drain your energy, leave you feeling tired, feeling dread at expressing your brilliance, because there's so much baggage, or has been so much baggage attached to it. Expressing your brilliance is about joy. That feeling of joy and accomplishment that you have when you are present, when you express without having that burden of responsibility on your shoulders, where you express with joy and pleasure, which feeds your heart and soul and energizes you so that you're more productive. It is really that simple. So, of course, the mind is still chewing on this, so trust that you will remember all the important things that need to get done. And even if you forget something, know that the consequences are not dire. The whole world will not collapse if you don't get it done. There will be a way to get it done later, or to do it differently, or maybe it wasn't meant to get done. So let's exit the dragon spirit space now with 3 dragon breaths. So place your hand on your heart, and you're going to again breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So let's begin. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And once more, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, gradually bring your awareness back to where you are right now. Roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and really focus on your feet, feeling the ground underneath your feet, on the soles of your feet if they're touching the floor. If not, go ahead and place your feet on the floor right now. You might want to stand up and just feel your feet. or if you've got shoes on or socks on, feel what your feet feel, the soles of your feet. And then imagine extending what you feel into feeling the earth. If you need to, just imagine yourself walking on grass barefoot, or walking on sand at the beach barefoot. And this will help ground you. So it's always interesting to me what is revealed in the dragon spirit space. And yeah, what I'm hearing is it was important for me to share that because I am not responsible for the whole world either, or even my listeners, because you are the master of yourself, not me. I'm just sharing some guidance, something that I'm hearing from the universe that's passing through me. It's almost like an interpreter. And you are the one that chooses whether it resonates with you or if it doesn't. And you're the one that makes the decisions on how to live your life. And so, as a result, I am not the one that is responsible for you. And it's important for me to share this to give you another perspective, another viewpoint to help you realize that you are also not responsible for all of those people in your community. I mean, yes, if you're a parent, yeah, you got to help your kid get to school and feed them and stuff like that. But whether they have a productive, happy life, ultimately, that's not up to you. It's up to them. For your coworkers, your manager, your boss, the company you work for, your clients, if you have your own business, yes, you work with them or you create something together with them and you have a role, but you are not responsible for everything for each individual. And when we catch ourselves thinking that way, that we're responsible, remember the image of the tapestry. You are a beam of light. And there is a force greater than ourselves weaving the tapestry and how it will appear. So I have to say thank you, universe. All right, then. I think that pretty much covers it for today's episode. So I want to say thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have a wonderful, joyful, fun, easy and effortless yet productive week. Looking forward to reconnecting with you. Bye for now.